friends. So we're moving along on our project. We've got the tail already unwrapped, and we've done our corrosion treatment. And I thought I'd take a few minutes to stop and shoot a little video of what we're doing here at Custom Aircraft Builders to control corrosion, how we're prepping and treating things with the Bonderite process, or you'll hear us refer to it as etching and alodining. I've had this idea that when we get our kit here that we would take a picture of all the different parts. So we're doing that with our iPad here. We're to transform, if you didn't realize it, when all the parts come, they all come wrapped in plastic. So it takes a while to wrap or to unwrap all the plastic off of the aluminum parts. And the interesting thing is the tags are stuck to the plastic. So how do we get the number from the tag onto this when it's going to be going through a double or a triple dunk tank for the corrosion process? So we've been using these little tags here to transfer the numbers over and to help us during the etching and alodining process. And so far it's working pretty good. Taking pictures of all the parts and then recording the picture via the part number takes a little bit of time, but it's not bad. It may end up being a total waste of time, I don't know. It was just kind of an idea that I had that I thought I would incorporate our first time through a TSi kit. And I do want to say too, we've inventoried the entire tail and the entire wing and undercarriage kit. And Sling has a kind of a neat part number process or nomenclature, and it's pretty intuitive. And I was thinking that it was going to take quite a while to go through this, the whole inventorying process, and it wasn't that bad. You kind of get a feel for the whole process because their nomenclature kind of is intuitive with how they've marked their part number. So it went pretty quickly. This is taking a little longer, but I think it's worth it. I think you etch and alodine all this aluminum, and this airplane's gonna last a long time. So I think it's worth it. We're doing this here at Custom Aircraft Builders, and we don't upcharge or anything like that for this whole process. So it's just gonna be part of our whole build system here. So what I thought I'd do is take you over and show you what this looks like as it goes in the etching tank with the etching solution. So we're using the Bonderite system here, and this is the 33. This is the etching solution, and it is a 3-to-1 mix with water. We're using these big Home Depot tanks here, and we've been able to do a fair amount of the ribs and a lot of the parts with these tanks. It's working pretty well. We've been using some tubes, and I'll put up a picture of those so you can see they've worked pretty well for a lot of the horizontal, the tail section that had longer, narrower pieces. Those tubes worked pretty well. The whole idea is to try to use as little fluid as possible. The fluid's pretty expensive. It's 30-40 bucks a gallon. And so how do you do this whole process without having tons invested in all of this chemical? Especially if you're building one in your garage or your hangar, what do you do with all this chemical when you're done? I mean, we're going to be doing this kind of over and over, so we can store this stuff pretty easily. But it's just one of those things to think about when you're going through this process. But so we're going to go ahead and put this this aluminum rib in here. You can see kind of what it looks like when it goes into the etching solution here. This is Bonderite 33. So as you can see, the etching process has started, and it kind of looks like it's smoking, or you can see little bubbles coming off of it. It's basically prepping the surface and cleaning the surface. In fact, the instructions, the Bonderite instructions even say if you are doing really clean work like this, that you can thin this stuff out a little bit. And if you're doing like really heavy corrosion, you'd want to maybe 2 to 1 to prep the surface. But this stuff is really really easy to clean. It's all brand new. So as you can see, it's kind of smoking in there as the little bubbles come up. It's going through the process, and you need to leave this in the etching solution for 2 to 5 minutes, and it will do the trick. All right, well, this thing's been in here several minutes, and you can see it's kind of producing the tiny little bubbles. As you pull it out, you can see it'll have kind of that nice white and very clean look to it. All right, and then from here, drip off for a second into the, this is just water. It's got a little color because we use the same water back and forth, but so we just in here to rinse it off, and then it goes right into the to the alodine, and this is where it gets its nice pretty gold color. So this stuff here is the Bonderite 1201, and this is a 2 to 1 mix, and again it needs to be in solution about 2 to 5 minutes. Certainly if you leave it in longer, you get a darker color out of it all, and I don't think there's any real harm with that. If you see some of our parts, sometimes they have some different coloration because sometimes we have to double dip things, and then the center area ends up in the solution longer, so it's a little bit darker. You know, this is where the protection comes from, is right here in the alodine. So we'll give this a few minutes, and then we'll take a look at it. All right, so this thing's been in here for several minutes, and you can see it's gotten to be a nice gold color. Let it drip for a couple minutes, or for a couple seconds, and then it goes right inside the water for a rinse off. And then, Matt, if you want to move over to the side, I got Matt helping me out here today. Sooner or later, you'll meet him on the other side of the camera. He's part of the posse here, my maintenance team. So today he's helping me with the camera, but he's been helping me with other parts of this whole project. And so then we just let them air dry, and then of course when they're air dry, we transfer the number that's on the tag back onto the part with a marker. So pretty simple process. So the question is, how in the world are we going to do these huge skins and the spars and things like that, these great big long things? So I'm working on that. Stay tuned, and certainly if you like this video, please like. If you haven't subscribed yet, appreciate it if you would. And we've got some other new things and neat announcements coming up, so be sure to follow along. Thanks for watching.